Good morning YouTube, Thomas Miata here, and I'm on top of my garage roof where I just installed a 26 panel solar array system. It's also powering some Bitcoin miners. Guys, stay tuned, I'm going to tell you the whole story. I'm only about $3,000 into this whole thing, and it's pretty easy. Anybody I think can do it as long as you got the space, the time, and the energy to research all this stuff. Make sure you go and do your own research before you do any of this. I'm not a trained electrician. Don't want you following this. This is just what I did, and I hope you enjoy. Fun stuff involved. Got to mount it up on the roof of the garage up there, where I'll probably use some treated wood and some bracketry. Being really cheap about this. I just want to see like proof of concept, what kind of power we can make. Shout out to Brittany for helping. I've also been cutting down trees, if you can tell, but just cutting it out so that we get some more sun on the actual roof there. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Top of the roof now. We've got this weird coating I don't know anything about, but it has been holding pretty good. Had one little minor leak one time because of the tree that used to overhang this. Had a bunch of stuff on it, collected water, and I think it leaked through one of the seams. No big deal. I plan on just taking some treated lumber and laying strips down. I'll look for studs. So I'm hoping, since it's all DC and they're quick connects, and I'm going to actually put the inverter inside the garage, I won't need to run very many wires or anything like that. So I'm just doing this as if it was a temporary setup. Okay, next step. Actually, I've got to mount the panels on the roof. Got some treated boards and gonna cut them every 6 inches and make feet. And then I got some 90 L brackets I'm gonna be using off of those to raise the panel up a little bit more. I'm going to flex seal the bottom of these treated boards as I screw them down, and then I'll paint the whole thing once everything's mounted. I'm gonna go with white. And I had the wood already, so it cost me nothing at the moment. So, recycling. Some metal down in this, that hurt. Shot metal out of it. That won't happen again. I'll move these up on the roof and get started. Right now I'm just moving panels around, gonna set up the tent, get more panels up here. Do the blocks, mount it all up.
It's 100 degrees today. Why do we always do house projects in the middle of the summer? Why?
Excited to show you this product. It's made by GrowWatt. It's a 6,000 watt inverter, and it's a grid tie unit. Unboxing video, we've got the mount bracket. You're gonna mount this to the wall so that you can easily mount the unit itself. The connector for the pigtail, like I said. Connector for COM port communication. I don't know exactly what that does, and I don't think I'm gonna be using it. This is the Bluetooth module. And then we've got some mounting hardware and a couple of connectors for the PV cell array. So this unit you can get for a little under $800 on eBay, shipped. It came to us in 2 days, and it's gonna allow us to run our used solar array that we picked up. That piece plus this piece for about $1,800. Throw a few more $100 in there for some connectors and some wiring. And for under $2,000, you can have this thing be like a semi-permanent system, temporarily hooked up. This is your power out, your system communication port, USB. This is where you plug in your solar panels, big on off switch, and that's it, pretty simple. So we'll mount this thing, hook it up, plug it all in, make sure everything works. I went ahead and mounted the mount right here. Looks like I'm gonna have enough room. Keep any of these wires out of the way, and I'm gonna send it up. Make sure your hands are nice and clean with this, because it's white. I've been touching it a lot, and it looks pretty gross already. The other side. Nice. Not too bad, and it'll have a safety screw on the side that you put in so that it can't fall off. We got the first panel mounted. Check it out. Here's a little sneak preview. We got 90-degree L brackets that I bought off of eBay for 40 bucks for 100 of them. Some 2x4, treated 2x4 lumber I already had in the garage. Some flex seal, sealing it all together. Go real thick, squeeze it, do second coats. Just some regular old self tappers right into the side there. The wires will hang out, and I'll get creative with some zip ties. Thanks, babe. Well, we went ahead and raced it for the storm and got the 4 panels up in that first line, but we got a little wet. So we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Alrighty, I have got a 50 amp plug wired up to some 10-3 cable. This is some thick stuff, copper, and I'm making a pigtail about this long so that I can go from the bottom of the unit around to the plug I have underneath my sub panel, and I'll be able to turn everything on and off right at my 50 amp breaker. And there's also an on-off switch on the unit itself. You want to make sure that you wire the green one to the ground, and then the other 2 are 120 volts each. It doesn't actually matter which one you have on there. And then we'll wire the other side, which is the grow watt connector. So this unit is actually meant for Australia, so the markings on here are different than the American. Basically, we have N, L, and PE. I'll show you that. And basically what I found out online is that N and L are hot. PE is your ground. So you can wire up one leg of 120 to either one of the N or the L, and then your ground is your conventional. So that's how I'm gonna wire it. The amp breaker is off. I'm gonna screw this in to the power port. Like that. Gotta really turn this thing, it's not playing. Plugging it in to the main power outlet. Normally you'd want some cutoff switches if you're hardwiring this type of stuff, but I'm being creative. All right, we're plugged in. Flip the breaker. Sweet, nothing caught on fire. We'll flip this breaker to the main unit. I'll be back with you when I figure this out. Maybe it has to actually get DC power in order to turn on. Well, it just keeps raining here, and I might as well just be living in Florida. But check it out, I actually have half of the system hooked up, and it's making a little bit of power even though it's super cloudy outside. All right, heading into the cave, checking this thing out. So this is hooked to my microgrid, which would be a generator. So my little sub panel here. Look into your local laws, but you wouldn't want to actually connect this to the grid, though it would actually work. You can see right now this unit is on and making power, 235 watts. Pretty cool, I'm excited about it. Shout out to Aaron for getting me those miners. I picked up 10 Antminer S9s for $1,000 with power supplies. So any extra power that I make on this system, I'm actually going to be burning up with Bitcoin miners and keeping the proceeds. So eventually all this is going to cost $0 for me. And I might actually sell a couple of the miners because I can only run about 4 of them off this system. And with the proceeds I make on the profit of any miners that work, I might be able to pay maybe 1,500 bucks off of this. I added up all of it yesterday with Brittany, and we found out that we're right around $3,100 total at the moment. And I could probably sell at least $1,000 worth of miners to bring this whole thing down to about 2,000 bucks. Oh, also huge shout out to Alex. He gave me a couple of panels for free too. He's running FD Pro Spec in his FRS V8 swapped. Yeah, check him out, guys. Running with a firmware that actually helps make it be a lot quieter. So I'm just going to keep testing these and keep working on the system. I've got half the cells up, and I saw the thing peak out at 1,600 watts. Oh, and a big complaint about the actual module for the app. I could not get it to connect. I spent like an hour and a half messing with it, and I eventually gave up. So I'm not going to be able to remotely see how much power I'm making, unless the company fixes the software, I guess. And then, yeah, so I'll get back to it. It just cannot make up its mind out here. Also, branch fell out of this tree and punctured a hole into my wife's windshield of her car. But I'm curious to see what this thing's gonna get with it being wet. There's the puncture. Left a little dent too. It'll be replaced in 2 days. All right, it's putting out 1,000 watts. Probably because the tree's blocking it a little bit. Went out there and cleaned them off, got the leaves and stuff off them, and picked up a couple hundred more. Well, wouldn't you know it, it's raining again. I used that opportunity to get up there and clean the panels. I actually got the other side mounted, and it's making a little bit of watts even in the rain. So both strings are operational, and I can't wait to actually see what this thing does in full sun. Fingers crossed it stops soon. Well, as you can see, the sun is finally up. Let me show you what we're making as far as wattage. Check it out. We are pumping out about 4,000 watts plus or minus. When a cloud hits, it'll get a little less, as you can see, but I just saw it hit 4,300. Oh snap, we just hit 5,200 watts. This thing will only put out 6,000 watts.
Proud new owner of solar panels.
We worked together on this project, and we've only been doing it for about 11 days. I thought it was a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. It's been raining a lot too, so it's been a hindrance.
Right, as you can tell in the video.
And when it's not raining, it's 100 degrees and the sun's just beating down on you.
Did you have any recommendations for somebody that would maybe want to do this type of project as well?
Bug spray, #1. Definitely consult with professionals first, that's a good idea. Do a lot of research on your own as well. Know what questions to ask.
Check into Bitcoin as well. We're doing a lot of Bitcoin mining here with this extra power, so I don't know.
Rain.
Very slowly.
Hail. In fact,
stacking
hail
sats.
coins.
Yeah. Alrighty, well.
Bye.